In this lesson, you will know and use the formula for trapezoids. Now don't forget what a trapezoid is. Here's a picture on the right, and a trapezoid, by definition, has only one pair of parallel sides. So here the top and the bottom are parallel, and the left and the right sides are not parallel. So that is our definition of trapezoid. So given a trapezoid, the area of the trapezoid is found by taking the average of the bases times the height. So here we see there's a top and a bottom that are parallel. These would be your bases. Okay, so the bases would be top and bottom. If we take the average of those, that's going to find for me what we call the median. So this is the median, and we can find that by taking the average of the bases. So if we take the average of the bases, which we would also call the median, median's average of the bases, and then multiply that by the height. This height is the perpendicular distance from the top and the bottom, from the two bases. So we take the median times the height, and we do that to find the area. So in this case, median we find by taking 10 plus 18 divided by 2. That's how you find the average of the bases. So we do that, and we find the median would be 28 over 2, which is 14. So the length of this median is 14 inches. Multiply that by the height of 12 inches, and that will give me the area. So the area would be 168 square inches. Now looking at the next example, here this one is a little more involved because we know the height is the distance between the bases. So the left and the right side in this case are your bases, here and here. So we have base 1, we have base 2. Okay, and then we need to average those bases to find the median. Well, we don't know second base, but what we do know is the height is 8 inches, or 8 units, because that is the distance from the two bases. But what I need to do is calculate that base 2 so that I can find the median. So looking at the 8, if we were to extend another perpendicular line right here, that would also be 8. So we've created a rectangle and then a triangle on the top. Well, what I can do is use the fact that we have a right triangle, because this is perpendicular, and we can use Pythagorean theorem to find base 2. Because I know this part right here is 5, same as right there. So if I could just add in this other portion from there to here, that's going to give me the entire length of base 2. So using Pythagorean theorem, the side across from this right angle is your hypotenuse, which is going to be your C value, and then the other two would be A and B. And the formula is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So plug a 10 in for C, plug an 8 in for either A or B, doesn't matter. So now I have x squared plus 64 equals 100. So x squared can be solved by subtracting 64 from both sides. So now we have x squared equals 36. And then take the square root of both sides, which gives me x on the left, and then square root of 36 gives me 6 on the right. So I have solved this length to be 6. So base 2 is 5 plus 6, which is 11 units. And then base 1 is 5. So I can use those to find the median. So to find the median, I take the average of the bases. So 11 plus 5 over 2 gives me 8. And then the area is the median times the height. So we have area equals 8 times the height, which is also going to be 8. So we have 8 times 8, which gives me 64 for the area. Now that we know the area formula for a trapezoid, there may be times, such as this example, where you need to use the formula to find a different part. So instead of finding the area, here we're trying to find the base. So in this problem, we're told the area of a trapezoid is 48 centimeters squared. The height is 3 centimeters, and one of the bases is 10 centimeters. And the question is to find the length of the second base. Now if you want, you could draw a picture, but you don't need to. We could just use our formula, where we know the area of a trapezoid is the median times the height. And the median, remember, is the average of the bases. So if we have base 1 plus base 2, divide by 2, that gives us the median. So from here, we just plug in different numbers into this formula. So area is 48. We plug a 48 in for A. The height is 3. We plug a 3 in right here for H. And then one of the bases is 10. We can plug that in for base 1, or B1, right there. If you plug those numbers in, we have 48 equals 10 plus base 2 over 2 times 3. Now we just need to solve this equation. Now different ways you can approach this. One thing we need to do is get rid of this 3 that's being multiplied. And to do that, we could divide. So if we divide both sides by 3, so divide this side by 3 and this side by 3, that gives us 16 on the left. So 16 is on the left, and now we have 10 plus base 2 over 2 on the right. Now from here, we need to get rid of the 10 and the 2. Up here, you can think of this as being in parentheses. That is one quantity. So when you solve, you work in reverse order of operations, which means parentheses would be last. So take care of the 2 first, and the 2 is being divided. So to get rid of that, we must multiply both sides by 2. When we do that, the 2's would cancel. And then on the left, 16 times 2 would give you 32. And then on the right, we are left with 10 plus base 2. And then we can solve for base 2 by subtracting 10 from both sides. We now have base 2 equals 32 minus 10, which would equal 12. So the answer is that the other base, the second base, would equal 22, and the units would be centimeters. So the base is 22 centimeters in length. And that concludes our lesson for today. We will see you next time.